If you have a love for anything spooky, paranormal, vampire, or occult related, I have the perfect place for you, especially with October right around the corner. And I recently visited the Vampire and Paranormal Museum in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. They have all donated artifacts from demon and vampire slayers. They have religious artifacts. They have some exorcism artifacts. It is incredible. And apparently in October, they're going to open themselves up at night for some paranormal walkthroughs. So incredibly exciting. So every little thing you see here would have a little story attached to where it came from or what the backstory on a lot of these artifacts was. And I'm not going to lie to you, when I left here, I did have quite a heavy feeling on my chest, and it did tell you that it is very possible these things can happen. Now, they actually had a piece donated from Michael Jackson, apparently after he filmed the music video Thriller. He got a little paranoid and ended up buying an $8,000 vampire box, which was donated to them. Now, this room in particular had a real heavy feeling. This was a beautiful piece of woodwork made in the early 19th century, stunning, but also a little scary. Back here is what scared me the most, because they had an original exorcism chair with the original Bible attached, and it is extremely rare, not to mention it is something that you have to be very sensitive and mindful when recording and videoing. They did say that it is very, you are allowed to record and take video, but to be mindful and respectful and not to touch anything which should be given. Some of these pieces were incredible, especially this room. This is their cleansing room for vampires. Now, they're going to open this up in October. Now, I don't know if you're going to necessarily be allowed down there, but it was really kind of eerie to see. And this was all donated original Ouija board pieces. I guess before one of the companies bought it, I'm not exactly sure. Gave off a very eerie vibe. But this room was the most frightening. They had all African artifacts. And then I went to film this room, and I saw that it said to be very mindful when recording or taking videos of that as well. I mean, videos or pictures, because it did have a lot of paranormal attachments. This was a hearse that was meant to transport vampires, which I found to be very, very beautiful and scary at the same time. And like I said, I was just mindful of what I was doing throughout it, because I don't want to disrespect anything, just in case, you know what I mean? And this whole room was dedicated to Michael the Archangel. Then when you go outside, they had this beautiful like cathedral bird cage. All this stuff was for sale. Completely incredible pieces. It was mind-boggling how beautiful some of these statues were. They went from anywhere from 400 to a couple thousand, but if they didn't have prices on them, you could contact the owner to see how much they were willing to sell it for. This place was incredible. Highly recommend.